Welcome to Wake Up and Live with Christopher Flake. Tune in each day as Pastor Chris shares a short inspirational message of encouragement on a variety of topics. So wake up and live empowered, blessed, loved. Now let's listen to today's message.
Good morning. Thank you so much for tuning in and listening this morning. I'm so happy that we could just take a moment and continue to share. You know, this week I began talking about making decisions, the different decisions that we can make in life that allows the kingdom of God, the power of God, that heaven would begin to become powerful on earth as it is in heaven. And we talked about taking the responsible decision, taking responsibility for our actions and where we are in life. And we talked about the guided decision, looking and seeking out wisdom, seeking counsel, and serving others. And today we're going to be looking at the active decision. Without action, none of these other decisions are really useful. I mean, people often respond to the notion of action with, oh yeah, I know I need to take some action, right? We know it. We've all been told you have to do something, whether it's right or wrong. It's better to do something than nothing. Remember that when we make something happen, ironically, what's the first thing most people do when they get depressed? What's the first thing people do when they're experiencing hard times? I mean, they lie down on the couch and they turn on the television and metaphorically they say, hit me, just like the deer with the headlights, right? Always remember that our encouragement and opportunities, knowledge and information will come from other people, and most of them aren't sitting on the couch when they're depressed. We've got to get out and do something. I mean, there are people in your life and every day watching to determine who you are. Be the person of action. Seize the moments. Choose immediacy. You weren't given the ability to make the right decisions all the time, but you were given the ability to make a decision, make it right. It drives me nuts when I hear people say, but I can't always do my best work. Well, if you can't do your best work, then do your second best work. But whatever you do, move, get going. A person who doesn't move is destined for mediocrity. As I've said before, when faced with a decision, I often hear people say, I'm waiting on God. I promise you, in most cases, God is waiting on you. Yes, God, He feeds the birds, but He doesn't just throw those worms into the nest, right? And He's given you a healthy mind to gather and sort information and the courage to come to a conclusion. So successful people make their decisions quickly and change their minds slowly. Unsuccessful people, on the other hand, they make their decisions slowly and they change their minds quickly. Be a person of action. Be daring and courageous, and don't let your fear get the best of you. I mean, fear is nothing but a misuse of the creativity that God instilled in you. Fear may have outweighed your desire to make things better for your family. Never let it happen again. Take back your power and expose fear as a vapor, as an imposter that never had any power over you in the first place. Never fear opinion, gossip, or the idle chatter of monkeys. Never fear failure. Failure is a myth. Failure exists only for those who quit. You don't quit. The prevailing attitude in our society seems to be wait and see. Don't make a mistake. Slow down. Be careful. How significant then could it be to actually do something? Remember the old Indian proverb? Man who stand on top of mountain with mouth open, wait long time for roast turkey to fly in. History chronicles the bold and the timid, but it's the bold we remember. The bold capture our imagination, inspiring us to move through our own lives. I mean, we remember the people, during the Olympics, we were enamored with the courage of the bold. And it's not necessarily the one who wins the events who inspire us, but the ones who complete with their hearts at an uncommon level. I mean, we recognize the hero within ourselves when an athlete gives everything he has, including his last breath, and finishes limping off the field of battle. I mean, do you remember Ulysses S. Grant, the 18th President of the United States? What did he look like? I mean, you probably have seen one or more of his portraits of him and remember what he looks like. Did you know that he never held any political office other than the President of the United States? And yet we remember him very clearly. I mean, do you remember Rutherford B. Hayes, what he looked like? Or James Garfield, Schechter author, Grover Cleveland? Do you remember Benjamin Harris or William McKinley? Probably not. Yet amazingly, each of those men served as President of the United States after USS Grant. Grant has been dead more than 100 years, but you recalled what he looked like, and you may even have a good idea of his personality. Because see, Grant was a general in the Union Army during the Civil War, but did you know he wasn't the first one, or the second, or the fourth, or the fifth? I mean, he was the 10th general Lincoln appointed during the Civil War. Why do you remember him? Because he was a person of action. Action is a choice. So are you ready for your movement? Have you decided what you will do when the moment arrives? We've heard over and over again, the success happens when preparation meets opportunity. You are a person of action. Too many people, when faced with a choice, lie down on the couch and watch TV. We live in the deer in the headlights world, where people facing tough situations basically say, just roll over me. The active decision affirms, I am a person of action. I seize this moment. I choose now. So beginning today, you're going to create a new future by creating a new you. There's no reason to dwell on the pit of despair or moan over the squandered time or lost opportunities. You can't do anything about your past. Your future lies before you. Grasp it with both hands and run with it. When you're faced with a choice to do something or not do something, you will always choose to act. Seize the moment. Choose now. Leading is doing. To lead, you have to move forward, to be ahead of other people. By being a person of action, you'll inspire others to become a natural leader. People move out of the way for a person on the run. Other people are caught up in the runner's wake. Your activity creates the wave of success for people who follow. Your activity, actions, and movements must be consistent, for consistent actions instills confidence in your leadership. People follow a person on the move. Leaders encourage and inspire others to greatness. They watch what you do. You know, an army of sheep led by a lion will defeat an army of lions led by a sheep every time. You know, the beautiful thing about taking action is that each action you take changes things. Every time you do something, it matters. And I can prove it. When you grasp this concept, you'll begin to truly appreciate your value as well as the value of the others in the world. Every single thing we do matters forever, and yet most of us don't see this. Instead, it seems that some people are more important than others, and some of us are not needed at all. And some people believe they can do things that all by themselves. You know what occurs to me as you listen this morning? You might be going through the worst time in your life. And if that's the case, know that it's normal. We are all either in a crisis, coming out of a crisis, or headed for a crisis. It's just part of being on this planet. Things may feel horrible right now, but you are still here. And if you're here, you haven't finished what you were put here to do. The greatest part of your life, your purpose, has yet to be lived. There's more fun to have. There's more success to experience. There's more laughter to enjoy. There are more children to teach and friends to influence and help. And if what you were put here to do hasn't been completed, and you can't be harmed. There will be protection around you as you act and move and become what you were meant to be. You may never see it, but I can promise you this: there is no need to live the rest of your life, any part of your life, in fear. There's no need for it. So today, I encourage you, make the active decision. Take time, be active, be on the move. Keep moving forward in the purposes that God has for you. Don't allow the situations of life to depress you and to make you just stand still. Keep moving. As you move, God will move. And guess what? When God moves, seas spread, mountains disappear. Things happen. So get behind the wake of God, but keep moving today in the active decision of your life, because that allows the heaven to become like on earth. And guess what? When the kingdom of God begins to move, people's lives are changed around you, and then your life will be changed also. So God bless you this morning. Wake up and live empowered, blessed, and loved by God, and keep moving, keep active, and keep changing the world. We'll talk to you again tomorrow with another great decision. God bless.
Today's podcast was sponsored by Clay A. Collar, author of The Fallen, a book and soon-to-be-released feature film. This is about two brothers who grew up in the same home but turned out totally different. One a successful minister, the other a death row inmate. A story of forgiveness and reconciliation. Available now at Amazon.com. Thank you for listening to today's podcast. I hope that you were encouraged and inspired. Join Christopher each day on Wake Up and Live. You can find all his messages at www.wakeupandlive.life. May the Lord bless you and keep you.